Okay, so having seen the results of the computer simulation, why do you think head, 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 tail appears more frequently now?
If we're just looking at the singular cases?
Now when we flip 20 times, I pay, there's a plus 100 here and a minus 100 here. Why do you think you want to be this person? Why does head, 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 tail appear more frequently?
Because, so for seeing just the heads in your string of 20, it has to start at the end, and all your ending coin flips all have to be heads.
Okay. So to see the head, 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 head by itself, you have to end with at least 4 heads. Okay.
Yeah. If you see them together, there's no payout, so.
Right. So why do you see them together so frequently?
Because it's unlikely you'll have a long string of heads. Like, you wouldn't see like 8 heads in a row.
Okay. Instead, what's likely to happen?
So you're gonna have like a tail in there, maybe a couple tails in there.
Okay. So what does that mean for when you see a string of 4 heads? What does this idea mean?
When you see a string of 4 heads, it's likely that there's a tail after it.
Okay. We shouldn't say that it's likely, or maybe we should say that it's likely, because you see it about half the time you see them together, and only about 2% of the time you see it alone. Right?
Yeah, in which case you see something like this.
Yeah. So a lot of times, once you get a string of heads, and then once you get 4 heads in a row, anytime you get a tail after that, it means you've automatically seen this sequence. Right? Now, why do you see this by itself more frequently? This is a little bit more subtle. Why do you see this alone without the 4 heads? This is a little harder.
Well, this doesn't break anything. If you have your sequence of 4 heads somewhere in your string, then the heads have to be the rest of the sequence. You have to finish off with all heads.
Okay.
But if you have your sequence and you see head, 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 tail, the rest of the sequence can be whatever it wants.
Okay.
Except for 4 heads.
All right.
But having 4 heads somewhere in here isn't influenced by this.
That's right. It's not influenced by it, but still something happens. Once you see this, something happens that affects this.
Well, this doesn't happen from this.
Right. In fact,
it can't happen from it.
But even more. Like, what happens if you're hoping to see this sequence and you see this sequence? What happens now?
You have to start over.
You have to start over. This sequence follows immediately from this one. Once you see this one, seeing this one's no problem. But once you see this one, you have to start all the way from the beginning on this one. So seeing this one, sorry, we'll say it this way. Seeing this one makes it easy to see this one.
Yeah.
Seeing this one makes it hard to see this one. So that's why this one occurs more frequently in a string of 20 flips. So maybe we can investigate this a little bit more tomorrow. What happens with 10 flips? What happens with 100 flips? That kind of thing. That'd be fun to see. All right. Hey, good job this morning. This is a tricky problem. Good job.